Nightmare Areola, and you're watching Mission Boxing Today on YouTube.
Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? So, before I get to the post-fight review of this David Price Ivica Perkovic, it's funny, man, because usually when you hear me talk about some of the contenders and up-and-coming prospects like Israel Gano and Tom Schwartz and just some of the up-and-coming guys, you often hear me say, hey, I don't want to see this guy fighting a Jason Gavern, a Travis Walker, or a Ivica Perkovic type. I'll always say Ivica Perkovic, but he was the guy that David Price fought tonight. I knew Price would be in action, but I knew for a while when I was looking it up, like last week, they didn't have an opponent set. But he fought Perkovic. The first round, Price was just controlling the distance with the jab. When Perkovic did get close, Price is. I don't think he's going to be willing to fight an inside fight. He even held on to Perkovic when Perkovic got close, but he was using the jab. Price is starting to fight a little bit different now. He added the weight, and he's carrying the weight pretty good. He's a 6'8" guy. It's not like he's some short heavyweight. He is 6'8". Looks very big in there. Wide back. I'm looking at the fight again. It looks pretty strong, but he looks hella slow. And you would kind of expect that because his days of fighting at 250, 245 around there are gone. He's going to come in the ring close to 280. I think he came into this fight 278, I believe. And I think the fight before this with Vaclav Pejsar, he was close. He was what, 270, 272 or something like that, somewhere there. So he said something about putting on added weight, and I think he believes it's going to help him help his punch resistance. And I don't know, man. Either you have a solid rock chin or you don't. But this fight, though, man, it was a funny fight. The first round, he knocked Pejsar down with I believe it was a uppercut hook combination. He knocked him down with, if I'm not mistaken. And then in the second round here, he hit Perkovic with a right hand left hook combination to the stomach, and Perkovic went to the ropes and put his hand up and signaled that he didn't want no more. That was it. You know what I mean? And this is exactly why I say that I don't want to see these guys in here with Ivica Perkovic. As far as the, rising up and coming guys, Perkovic is a journeyman guy. Started his career off 0-4, all by decision losses. And he's been in there with a lot of guys. Sometimes he can take guys to the distance, but I think that was more 5-6 years ago when he was in there with Andres Rodriguez and guys like that. I mean, it's up and down. He might take a guy the full distance of the fight, or he may get knocked out in the second or third round. He even took Dimitrenko the distance, Alexander Yusinov the distance. Mark Demore, the guy that fought who did he fight? David Hay, took him the distance. You know what I mean? But then he's been knocked out early by Pulev and Gary Cornish and a few other guys. Man, he's been in there with a lot of dudes. And his last loss went the full distance. Perkovic, but he was just outclassed. David Price is a much better fighter. Now it's just pretty much where do we want to see David Price go from here? They were talking about that November 26th card. Joseph Parker, his name's been floating around, but now they're saying that possibly Parker can fight Andy Ruiz for the WBO title next summer. Then there's a possibility that Parker may just end up fighting Joshua November 26th. Then it's a possibility that Joshua may fight Klitschko, and then they wanted Parker on the undercard against Price. So there's a lot going on. You take a look at Price; he is rated by two of the sanctioning bodies, the WBO and the IBF. He's rated number 11 by the WBO, and he is rated number 12 by the IBF. I like to see him fight anybody, man. Derek Chisora, Huey Fury, Dominic Brazil. Jarrell Miller, maybe Israel Ganu, Andre Fedosov, him, Erkin Tepper has a fight coming up, I believe, against Christian Hammer. Tom Schwartz, Edmund Gerber. I like to see him fight anybody like that. Michelle Wallace, one of those type of guys. Even Eric Molina. I heard Molina said that he'll be willing to fight Price. So any of those guys that I name, I'd love to see Price in there with. Fighting these journeyman guys, man, getting them out of there in a round or two. Really not going to do anything, especially when you're hitting a guy with a 1-2 to the body. The dude didn't even go down. It wasn't like a Roy Jones Jr. versus Virgil Hill situation where he went down and he was rolling around, got hit with a good shot. He just put his hands up and said, I don't want no more. He was on his feet. You know what I mean? he stopped himself. So Price did what he had to do though. He went in there and I wish he would have got the flush, clean knockout. You know what I mean? But he went in there, did what he had to do, made Perkovic say uncle. Yeah, man, that's really it, man. I want to see Price Center with one of the guys that I named though. Curious to hear your comments. If you've seen this fight, man, what did you think about the fight? Let me know. What do you think about this 280-pound David Price? Carrying the weight pretty good, though. You know, I will say that. Let me know what you think, man. I'm out.